Please don't ever have outstanding payments from your clients for services. That's not necessary, okay? And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make sure that with a retainer agreement, you can be getting paid upfront for your design services. If you don't have a letter of agreement, then make sure you stick around to the end of the video and I'll let you know how you can get your hands on mine. I'm Claire Jefford, certified interior decorator and business coach. For clarity in your interior design business, make sure you subscribe to my channel here on YouTube and click the bell to make sure that you get notified every time I release a new video. At least once a month in my Facebook group for designers, there is someone posting to ask how they can get money from a client when they have outstanding monies, and it really breaks my heart. This should not be happening when you are running your interior design business. I've set up my processes in a way that I'm always getting payment upfront for clients before services, and definitely 100% for furniture. But to have this retainer agreement for services is so important. First, let me explain what a retainer agreement is and why it's so important. So a retainer agreement is essentially a contract between you and your client, and it states the terms of how you will work. How detailed it is, how elaborate you go into your services will depend on the type of business model that you have, but it is really important that your client understands what your hours of work are, how you work, some of the terms of the services that you provide. It's just a great opportunity, as you're going to see here, that opens the door for other discussion. The reason why you need a retainer agreement is because you are running a business, as I just mentioned. So you should never be out of pocket for your design services. So receiving that retainer payment up front means that you should never be chasing clients for payments. The other thing is that it makes sure that your clients, they understand now that you have processes in place and that you do follow guidelines on your fee structure and when you need to be paid. And I can tell you right now that the very good clients, they like that. They like having this agreement. They like that you are organized. So don't be afraid and don't be shy to talk about the money and to sit down with the letter of agreement with your clients. In fact, comment right now, do you have a retainer in place, a retainer agreement that you use with your clients? Comment below and let me know. When should you use a retainer agreement? Well, I have my clients sign my retainer agreement at the end of the initial consultation meeting. That's so we can go forward then with further design services. I call mine, as I mentioned already, the LOA, which is the letter of agreement, and it's a one-page document. So it's not overwhelming, it's one page. It takes them basically from the end of that initial consultation into further design services so I can go and put together designs concept or my presentation. So again, depending on how you run your business model, this will depend on how much you're going to ask for and how you set up the price for your retainer agreement. We do a lot of 3D design concepts, and I already have a great idea when I walk into a client's home how much it's going to cost us to do the plan. So by the end of the consult, I will say, okay, that's going to be $3,000, for example. In order to move forward, I need to review my letter of agreement with you, and I need to collect $1,500 as a deposit or a retainer. If a project's going to be a little more involved and you're not quite sure, what it's going to involve yet because the client's kind of still working on it themselves and thinking about it, you may need to go back and do a proposal. What I still like to do though is I still like to get that letter of agreement signed and have a retainer by the end of the consultation meeting, because it basically locks that client in. I know that they're serious and that they want to work with us, and we can then schedule them into our calendar because we're busy, and I want to make sure that clients know that, hey, that's great, I just need to put together the proposal, I have an idea of what it's going to be, I'm going to ask you for a deposit. So if you think that maybe now $5,000 to $10,000, you can ask your client for $3,000 at the end of the initial consultation, and then say, I'm going to finalize it for you, I'm going to send it, mail it off to you, email it to you once we have the final proposal. But I still like to review the retainer agreement in person with my client. And that leads me into a big mistake that a lot of designers are making with their retainer agreements or their letter of agreements or any sort of contract, is that they're leaving it with their clients. They're saying, okay, great, I'm going to email you our contract afterwards, go over the terms and let me know if you have any questions. Please, please, please do not do this, okay? It's so important to sit down with your client and review your terms of service and how you work. So I understand that the reason why people would probably do that is because they're a little bit nervous or they're busy and the timing isn't right, so they'll just send it off. But I'm telling you now that to be able to have those conversations with your clients, it's a fantastic opportunity to manage your clients' expectations, which I'm huge on, as you probably already know. And it opens up the conversation. It allows for that dialogue to talk about these are the hours of work, or this is how you can reach me. This is why I don't text. That sort of thing. So really see it as an opportunity, and that's how I word it to my clients. This is a great opportunity for us to, sit down and for you to understand how I work and ask me any questions. So it's not a big scary contract. And finally, how much should you ask for when you're asking for a retainer with your letter of agreement or your retainer agreement? For us, like I just mentioned, we do a lot of 3D designs. I like to get 50% upfront at the end of the initial consultation when I'm reviewing with a client. So as I said, I already know and have a really good idea typically of how much that's going to be because of the way that my business model is. For you, as I said, it may be a little bit different, but I do recommend that you get 50% up front, and then what we do after is we have it in our letter of agreement that we then collect the balance 5 days prior to our presentation meeting with our clients. So again, we are never out of pocket. Just before I'm going to present, I will send them an invoice. We get paid by email transfer. That means it's directly paid into our bank account, and I'm not waiting. I show up at the door, we're coming to do the presentation, everything's already been taken care of in terms of money-wise, and it's a beautiful thing. And just to be clear, the retainer agreement that I'm talking about right now is meant to take clients from the initial consultation to the next level of services that you offer, right? So it's not a purchasing agreement, it's not for ordering furniture, it's basically for your design proposal. Just want to make that really clear, because if you want to save time on developing your own letter of agreement, because I know sometimes wording things can be very time consuming and frustrating, so don't worry, I've done it for you. I have my LOA, my letter of agreement, and you can catch that in the description below and in the comments below. I will link to that. And it also comes actually with 2 LOAs. One is for hourly services, one is for flat fee packages, and there's a walkthrough video. So I walk you through to show you exactly how I present it to clients. If you found that this video gave you more clarity on how to run your interior design business, then make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to see you subscribe here to my channel, and comment below to let me know if you're using a letter of agreement with your clients, how that's going, or if you've purchased mine. I love the feedback when you guys tell me that you have invested in some of my products for your business and that it's working for you. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh my God, I totally lost my train of thought. Okay, woohoo!